Working in hot weather and an environment in a construction site is hard work. According to OSHA, millions of U.S. workers are exposed to heat in their workplaces. Although some heat illnesses are preventable, still, thousands of workers become sick from heat exposure, and sometimes the cases are fatal. This is why construction workers need to be prepared for the heat they might encounter on the job site. Now, what exactly are the dangers? When you become overheated on the job, you may encounter these 5 common medical problems: heat cramps, heat exhaustion, heat rash, heat stroke, and heat stress, which is why employees must be aware of an effective heat-related illness prevention program. The OSHA's recommended practices for safety and health programs core elements include preventing workplace injuries and illness, improving compliance with laws and regulations, engaging workers, enhancing their social responsibility goals, and increasing productivity and enhance overall operations. Now, to prevent heat-related illnesses from happening, management should commit to: first, take extra precautions to protect new workers who are not yet familiar with the job. OSHA insists that employers should schedule their new workers to work shorter amounts of time working in the heat, separated by breaks in heat stress conditions. Give new workers more frequent rest breaks. Train new workers about heat stress, symptoms of heat-related illness, and the importance of rest and water. Monitor new workers closely for any symptoms of heat-related illness. Use a buddy system and don't allow new workers to work alone. If new workers talk about or show any symptoms, allow them to stop working, and make sure to initiate first aid. Second, train new workers about heat stress, symptoms of heat-related illness, and the importance of rest and water. OSHA mandates that the training should include recognizing common signs and symptoms, importance of immediately providing first aid to affect workers, procedures for contacting emergency medical services, importance of protecting new unacclimatized workers or workers who are not used to working in hot conditions. This includes work practices to help workers develop acclimatization, job-related and personal risk factors for heat-related illness, fluid replacement guidelines, appropriate mandatory rest breaks when heat stress is high, and everyone should know that the rest areas should have ventilation, shade, and fluids. OSHA mandates employers to provide cool water for workers to drink, as proper hydration is key to prevent heat-related illness. Third, know whether the total heat stress of a worker is too high throughout the day. According to the National Institute for Occupational Safety and Health, working below 21 degrees Celsius doesn't pose risk of heat-related illnesses for construction workers. While strenuous work is possibly unsafe for unacclimatized workers when the temperature is at 21 to 25 degrees Celsius, but has low risk of heat-related illnesses for acclimatized ones. Meanwhile, temperatures above 25 degrees Celsius is dangerous for all types of workers. Another thing to prevent heat illnesses from happening is by executing appropriate engineering and administrative controls. One of the best engineering controls to avoid heat stress is to make the workplace cooler by providing more ventilation, such as air conditioning in break rooms, misting fans that produce a spray of fine water droplets, and cooling fans. In working in a hot environment, consider wearing these personal protective equipment: heat-resistant insulated suits, reflective clothing, infrared reflecting face shields, cooling neck wraps, and in extremely hot conditions, these thermally conditioned clothing might also be used. A vest that receives cooled air from a vortex tube connected to an external compressed air source, jackets or vests with reusable ice packs or phase change cooling packs in the pockets, Workers should be aware that the use of certain personal protective equipment like impermeable clothing and head coverings can increase the risk of heat-related illness.